Welcome to another edition of Balls Deep. This time we've got a friend of ours, Richard Garrett, who's gone off to Japan on a science trip. So we wanted to talk to him about his jiu-jitsu over in Japan, as well as playing AFL, or I should say playing Aussie rules football with the Japanese, and how it differs and what they've taken from the Aussie culture and how they've implemented it over there. It's an interesting angle in how these niche sports over there, just how do they get up and where do people find it to start it? I can understand the recruiting people in as friends of friends and all that kind of stuff, but for such a sport that is coming from an isolated country to have a small, very small foothold in a country like Japan, I think it's a fascinating view. Geez, they must have been happy to get an Australian on their team and then find out how shit he was. But anyway, this is our. We had a bit of a chat after a very difficult comp class with Richie, and here it is.
So you pretty much flow with the goal.
We're not here just to take part. We're here to take over.
If you want to fight, let's fight right now. I guarantee you, man. You wake up on the ditch. Let's do it.
So crispy clear. You get it through the mics.
No, you've got to do the sip and the...
I'm not on an ad.
Well, we can make one.
Pepsi Max.
Max.
For the fuckers that don't drink.
Because I'm driving tonight.
Because you want to drive. So, we'll start off. Right, so you headed off to Japan on a taxpayer-funded jaunt.
Yep.
A junket, I believe it's called.
I did save my own money as well. But.
Yeah, but taxpayer-funded for a science thing. So how'd you go? Have you got a cure for cancer?
Well, actually, kind of.
It's a yes or no question. There's no kind of. Have you got a cure for cancer right now?
There are options.
Yes or no?
No, it didn't work.
So
well.
no. So it's a failed trip, and you owe the public money.
Yeah, look, yeah. I'm a disappointment to everybody, I think.
No cure for cancer, no Weapon X. Yeah. Just what's science doing for us these days?
And you didn't go roll with Genko Sudi. So
I know. That's the most disappointing part of the trip, I think. Well, for Brian anyway.
Genko Sudi.
Genki Sudo.
Genki Sudo. No, I was trying to get it out.
Sudoku, isn't it?
He can dance if he wants to. So the scholarship thing.
Yeah.
How did that start?
So last year, start of the year, we went over with uni for this study tour. Japan. Pretty much, you're doing a semester's worth of work in 2 weeks. Super fun. But yeah, we had this nanotech exhibition. It's like a giant trade show, really, for science nerds.
Yeah.
So nanotech exhibitions, a giant trade show about really small things.
Yeah, well, it's like all the stuff you use to make really small things.
Yeah.
So it was big machinery to make tiny little objects. Cool.
So manipulating minuscule things. I mean, you're fully talented in that area.
Yeah, lots of practice in that one. So yeah, and while I was there, I met a guy from National Institute for Material Science, and he pretty much said to me, look, we can do a project over here if you can get your way over. And then 2 weeks later, I happened to find out about this New Colombo plan, which is a scholarship which fitted it perfectly. So the old Colombo plan was like from the 60s or something, but it was about bringing everyone from the Indo-Pacific region over.
So nothing to do with one-eyed detectives?
No. Just getting all of them coming over here, and now this time round they decided to send us over there. So it fitted in nicely, and after about 6 months of applying and interviewing again and interviewing one more time, I was lucky enough to be picked. So
was the idea of the trip more for the science and the study side of it, or just, hey, I can do what I do in Japan for 6 months?
Well, it kind of both. So I mean, I was a rarity. The scholarship was designed to do a study component and then do an internship or some mentorship some business because they want to promote networking is the big part of this scholarship.
Funny that they think that the problem with the science lads is socialising.
Yeah, exactly. We don't talk. Well, it's not just for science people either. Like there was a heap of
engineers too.
Yeah, yeah. We had some lawyers, economists, or whatever the word is. That's failed.
Dickheads.
Yeah, pretty much. The guys who care too much about, I don't know, money.
They get to say net with a straight face.
But yeah, so I was the kind of weird one that my study component was the internship because I was doing a research project for my degree back here, and it just happened to work in well that I managed to get the 6 months over there, and it fitted in perfectly with my uni schedule, so I didn't have to skip a beat there.
So that's the boring stuff while you're over there.
Yeah.
What we really want to talk about is the jiu-jitsu.
Did you manage to fight Godzilla?
No. The
You
biggest
didn't even go see Genki. How's he going to fight
look,
fucking Godzilla?
okay.
Well, I just figured if they're going to get all the science nerds around one place, they could at least come up with, I don't know, an anti-mechanic Godzilla or some shit.
Yeah, we could have built one, probably.
But a tiny one.
Yeah, well, it would have to be. It couldn't be more than 60 kilos because, that's pretty much everyone I fought. Like, I think the biggest Japanese guy I grappled with was probably, about 89, 90 kilo. That's it.
I guess if they go over to that, they tend to go over to the sumo side of things.
Exactly. You're either extreme. But that was a scary thing. Like, jiu-jitsu comps in Japan, and their biggest weight divisions are the light featherweight divisions. And I was like, man, we're lucky if we have 4 rooster weights in all of Australia, let alone having them actually come for a competition.
Can you imagine grappling a sumo guy?
No.
You tap out to stack.
I thought that's just what grappling with Heath is. Just heavy.
Hey, I wear that nappy for comfort. All right, it's as far as I'm concerned, legal no gi.
No, it's the little spiky tail things.
The tassels.
The tassels, yeah. They're the ones that get in the way.
That's just because I was an Ultimate Warrior fan back in the day.
I just throw rice around the ring for the hell of it. I just enjoy that bit.
I think it's salt.
It's salt. It is salt.
But isn't it both?
You've got to ward off the demons. I don't know.
I thought they did rice and salt.
I think one's a wedding. So if you're grappling with a sumo who's throwing rice around,
no, I thought they did the salt to get the demons away and the rice to
feed the pigeons.
It's just salt. It's just salt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It could be, but
maybe I just saw a sumo wrestler that didn't get paid too much and just had to supplement his income somehow.
The best part about going on a
that's
sumo,
why the Yakuza sits in
Yakuza.
I was going halfway between Yokozuna and Yakuza.
Yoko Ono somewhere in there as well. The best part about going to the sumo though is there's no ring
chairs.
So yeah, so all the people in the audience, they literally will get squished when someone gets thrown heavily out of the ring.
That's one hell of a stage dive when there's no stage.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They're dropping probably at 1 meter, 2 meters from the top of this platform and down onto some 90-year-old lady who's sitting there, just cross-legged on this tiny little cushion and just absolutely crushes her. And it's hilarious.
And she loves it.
Don't they have a max weight now, though, which is still substantial?
Yeah, I think they have put limits in, but they're kind of weird with how they run their divisions. I was doing a bit of research on it because there was a major tournament over while I was there.
You want to have a crack?
I was interested. No, but they go more ranked by skill. So you have and each kind of skill level has certain weight restrictions as well.
Okay.
And they run it. I think they run their tournaments in a really awesome way. That the sumo, what they do is they'll have a couple of fights first against just randomly selected, and then you start fighting people who have similar records to you in the tournament.
Okay.
So all the guys who are 3-0 will fight the other guys who are 3-0, and then if you lose, you then fight the guys who are 3-1.
Yep.
And it kind of balances out that way. So then, if you happen to lose a couple of early ones, then you go and fight the plebs, and that gets you all the way back up.
Yeah. Is that for the major ones you're talking about? So I know they have 4 super tournaments a year.
Yeah, there's. I think there's a form. It might be 6, maybe. I don't know, but there's pretty much one every 2 months.
Yeah.
I think there's the 4 their grand slams kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then there's the other couple at the tier below, maybe.
Yeah.
I can see why they call it a grand slam. They're big motherfuckers. You get at tennis. That's a grand slam, really?
Well, see, that's the cool thing now. They've started getting a lot of European guys are coming over now.
I saw the Mongolian brothers.
I was going to say,
there's
there's only 2 Yokozunas at the minute, and they're both the Mongolians.
Yeah,
East and West.
It was the last time I looked.
Yeah, and they've built fucking crazy.
Yeah, they're built. They're strong.
Yeah, they're less about just overall size and more about having that muscle.
Because I think the last of the massive ones was Kanishki, who was 400 kilos or something stupid like that. But I don't think he ever got the Yakuza rank. It's a fascinating sport, like the way they Yakuza.
He might have had some
grand
Yakuza,
Yakuza,
I
which
know
is the issue.
they had one of their grand tournaments cancelled because of the Yakuza, which is a couple of years ago. I think they always say on the scale of how corrupt sports are, there's sumo and then everything else is second.
Yeah,
it just doesn't matter.
Sumo, boxing.
No, not even close. Don King's got nothing on these fuckers.
Yeah, some of it's like, and that's the weird thing. Like the Yakuza in Japan, they kind of keep to themselves, and it's the same. The cops kind of they don't try and it's not like the bikie gangs here where our cops are kind of going in every 2 weeks to raids. The cops in Japan, they kind of leave them alone as long as they don't mess with people outside of their
They
area.
look after their
The
as long as shit in their own yard.
The Catholic approach: if you ignore something, it'll go away.
Yeah, there's less touching little boys in the Yakuza, I think, though. So I mean, look, maybe.
I guess they more sell them.
Yeah, okay. Just for clarity, there, I am not saying that occurs because I don't want any Yakuza guys coming after me. So it may or may.
If they do, we'll film the shit out of that.
You've already got half the tats. They probably think you're a brother.
Actually, that's the funny thing. Like, I definitely noticed. So last year when I went to Japan, guys would see my tattoos and they kind of stay clear of me
Because it means Yakuza.
Well, yeah, a lot of them, it has that meaning that you are part of a gang or so. But coming over this year was weird. Like, people were more intrigued, and like I think they're starting to realize that if you're a young person with tattoos, it's not so much a problem. But it's the guys who are sitting at like maybe
middle age,
middle 30, in their 30s kind of thing, and if they've got tattoos, because it means they got those tattoos 10 years ago.
Yeah,
they're probably the ones that are in the gangs. And I mean, if you're a Japanese person, you've got tattoos, they're probably going to think that. But as a foreigner, they don't care anymore.
Yeah.
They're like, a couple of people will be kind of weirded out.
I think that the style too. If it's all intricate designs and colourful and stuff, rather than ones that looks like it's done with a pen and a knife.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it is funny though, because like, especially the elderly in Japan, they do follow that stereotype. And I'll be sitting on the train and some old lady will get on and I'll do the classic Aussie thing. I'll offer her my seat. And the look of horror when I offered her my seat, she was like, a tattooed guy just gave me the seat on the train. Like, what has hell frozen over? Like, this is madness.
Probably the part where you're holding a knife to it. She might have been freaked out by that too.
Maybe a little. But no, it was much better this year, I think. And definitely, even I came back on last Saturday and I was at a conference at uni all week at Japan Studies Association of Australia thing. And there were a lot of Japanese business people there, and so heaps of them kept coming up going, "Oh, can we take photos of your tattoos?" I'm like, I guess if you want. I mean,
you should stay over there, mate. People like you.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like here.
Come back here and just copping shit every day. And,
No, that's just from your family.
Exactly.
I described it on Reddit, and I'm sorry, I'm repeating stuff I've wrote online, but I was pretty proud of it. Explaining Richard, and I said, he is a punching bag, both verbal and physical, that I share with many people.
Yeah.
And I thought it was quite apt.
Yeah.
But
I am
like
a punching bag that will give it back, though. So it's I kind
it'd
of
be no fun otherwise.
Yeah, like an irate truck stop whore.
Irate truck stop whore. Are there many truck stop whores that aren't irate?
Have you, now,
I think some are accepting their fate. I have no idea.
Have you been affiliated with lots of these recently? Because I'm sure there's some people who would be.
Hey, $20 is $20.
Yeah,
Hey.
exactly.
10% off the top, job done.
So with because I was going a little bit back when you're saying with the jiu-jitsu tournaments and that kind of stuff, they don't have many in the higher weights. I was watching the videos online and stuff. It didn't look like you were fighting many Japanese guys in the tournaments either.
Not really. I mean, because there's a lot of the Brazilian Japanese guys in Japan there. But the problem is with them, they all train full time. And I lost to one guy, Erickson, and he touted me. Like, both, we fought in the open weight and in weight division, just straight finals in both. And I had nothing on him. Week later, he gets his brown belt. And it was a tournament this weekend, and he went and won his division of brown belt. And I was look, I'm okay with losing, man. That's not too bad. But
Did you go check out my tattoos?
yeah, I got a silver medal. One of the silver medals is the 2014 medal because they ran out of 2014 medals. So I can say I got silver 2 years in a row. But,
Brilliant.
well, they did ask, like, well, we can send one out for you. And I was
Right.
like, look, I leave in 2 weeks. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
So here's my Australian address.
Yeah, it's a funny story. I don't mind. But and then there's a lot of American guys as well, because the Navy base and stuff. So that a lot of them come up, and it was good. It was good to grapple with some of them. But a lot of them have got that strong wrestler base and real tough.
So, the Americans.
Yeah, the Americans.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. So, you expect they have that wrestling base.
Did you find you had to sort of explain which nationality you were? Because I would assume that they'd assume you're American just because you're white.
I just started swearing a lot more, and then I was like, oh, he's obviously a fucking Australian.
Either Australian or a Kiwi. He's not fucking a sheep. Probably an Australian.
Yeah. No, they I mean, most of them picked up there. I don't think I've got a strong accent, but obviously,
when you're taken out of it.
Yeah. It's and then some of them were like, "Oh, do a real Aussie accent." So I was putting on that the Bogan speech. Yeah, how you doing, mate? I mean, the real nasally. Yeah.
And it's exotic over there.
Yeah,
It's amazing, isn't it?
Exactly. They're just like, you people actually like. I was teaching a whole bunch of them like Aussie slang, and I think everything was pretty good. And then I said, "As dry as a nun's nasty," and they just lost it. They just absolutely lost it. They were like,
So
what?
if we ever go to Japan and you guys going, "G'day, cunt," it's going to end it for me. I think.
Yeah. No.
I'll just start hugging them.
Okay,
You're
well,
beautiful.
I don't know if you guys know it, but there's a book in Japanese. It's called Tadashi Fuck Skycutta, which literally means how to use fuck correctly.
Right.
And like it's like a 200-page book on all how to use different swear words in the proper English.
Geez, 100 pages that have to be fuck, surely, because that is usable as a verb, a noun, an adverb, everything.
I think so it covers fuck, it covers shit, it covers damn, which is a little bit soft, but the Japanese, the worst word they say is bad.
Well, isn't it also a thing? Because I had a friend that lived over in Japan for a year or something. When they get touched up on the train, like there's no use calling the police, but they just grab their hand and raise it and say pervert or something like that.
Yeah, did you find that happen to you often?
No, look, I was a little more conspicuous about it. Just kind of, the sneaky touch here and there.
Other people, not just yourself.
No, I didn't see it happen, but I was never really on the train in peak hour, and that's the biggest issue, I think. But yeah, I mean, a big part of Japanese culture is that
shame.
That honor system of shame.
Yeah.
If you embarrass someone, it's not it's not like the old school God, stab yourself through the stomach. But no, they
Fuck, that'd be impressive. Imagine catching the train and then someone's like, "I dishonor my family."
just take someone's umbrella.
But
and, God.
I guarantee, though, the train workers have it cleaned up in 2 minutes and would
sure,
not
sure.
miss a stop.
Exactly.
Just keep going.
Best part about Japan, the
They have clean-up
efficiency.
robots, little one of those little vacuum robot thingies comes along, and they've already got the organs harvested, and someone else is saved.
Well, it's the thing, like, okay, we've got our Melbourne trains, and if a train's 20 minutes late, it's like, big deal, no worries. If the train is 30 seconds late in Japan, it's like, holy crap, like, all these Japanese people are freaking out, going, what's going on in the world?
They've dropped another one.
Yeah. It's like someone would have to have died on the train tracks for it to be any kind of inconvenience.
Or Godzilla.
Yeah, Godzilla. But look, they've got contingency plans now, sure. They have it covered with earthquakes. Every building that you go into has earthquake protection on all the cupboards and stuff. It's pretty nifty, actually. Like last year when I went, we got to do a Tokyo uni, and like they got a pretty old school library, some really valuable books that you don't want damaged. And when they sense an earthquake, these little shutters pop up that block the books from falling out, which is really cool. It's just like simple things like that we wouldn't think of.
You say simple.
Well, all it is just a little switch that goes tick tick.
It's just hooked up to vibration or something.
Yeah. So if you kind of shook the bookcase a bit, it'd probably go off too. But
I'd get kicked out of the library the first day, I think. You stare shaking it.
All they've done is recycle old pinball tilt sensors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And that's the thing. It's and like even my apartment and stuff. Like I was on the 6th floor, and we probably got about 15 earthquakes while I was there.
Really?
And, yeah, it was a lot. I think the biggest was 6.2 or something.
Right.
And that was we were like close to the epicenter.
Yep.
And being on the 6th floor building, we were swaying a bit. It was enough. It was enough to actually go. Ooh, should I get the hard hat out? Yeah, I think so.
I wonder if that's like the Japanese equivalent of the drop bear, where they have like a machine at the base that shakes the
It just
building,
shakes it, yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, we'll stir up this foreigner, we'll fuck him up."
Oh man, the amount of people I convinced that drop bears exist is awesome. And then I got out the photo of like that Photoshop's one with the one with the big snarly teeth,
the blood dripping down.
Yep. And they're like, "Oh, do these really exist?" I was like, "Yeah, you've got. Whenever you're walking in Australia, just look up at the trees. Just always check the trees first.
Put a bit of your own urine behind your ears."
So, how did you find because you did train with the Japanese?
Yeah.
We're talking jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You trained a couple of places. So how is Brazilian jiu-jitsu going over there? Because obviously it's come from judo, which is Japanese, and there's Japanese jiu-jitsu.
Traditional jiu-jitsu.
I think
Traditional, yeah.
Japanese jiu-jitsu is really dying out. I think you don't see it around as much.
Yeah.
But so I arrived in January, and for the first month, I couldn't find a jiu-jitsu club nearby. The closest were like 14, 15 Ks away, but without having a car, it's a bit hard to get to. But Tsukuba University is maybe top 3 judo schools in Japan. So it's where the founder of judo used to teach back in the day.
Yep.
So I went there and was training there for a few weeks, and that level is just insane. Like just amazing. Yeah, it's like and while I was there, they had the Hungarian and the Polish national teams just coming to train, and there's some big boys.
I gotta say, but especially the Polish.
Yeah.
Because all I think of is world's strongest man. There's always a Polish dude.
Mariusz Pudzianowski.
Oh, is he the one who knocked out Holes?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is.
You see that?
He was like the strongest man for a
No.
decade or some bullshit.
Holes Gracie fought.
Yeah.
Say his name again.
Mariusz Pudzianowski.
And they're calling it the hardest punch ever thrown.
Oh.
It was just a big overhand. But anyway, from the world's strongest man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Dude's got no cardio, but fuck me, he can punch his way through a tank.
You only need one punch.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's the thing. So I was training there, and stand-up wise, they smash. Like I got some decent judo, I like to think, but they smashed me.
For a jiu-jitsu guy, you got decent judo.
Yes, exactly. I think maybe I half landed one throw because the guy was distracted because someone got injured or something over the side. I didn't hear it.
That old trick.
Yeah, I'm going for it, and I still didn't throw him. So, but on the ground, I was able to handle pretty much all of them. One or two guys had some really good groundwork, but the rest, I would say most about purple belt level. So, but then the jiu-jitsu guys. So, stupid me, but. I found out 2 weeks before I arrived, the jiu-jitsu club opened literally 2 minutes from my apartment.
Beautiful.
I was like, I couldn't have timed this better. So the instructor there is a purple belt, but much smaller than me. And then they had already, within a month, they had 5 white belts or so signed up.
Wow.
And really, it was really cool. So again, lots of smaller dudes, but it was just nice. I had some warm bodies to choke and
as opposed to the cold ones.
Well,
after a while, mate, they start to get a bit brittle.
Yeah, look, it's better than setting a gi up on my pillow at home or something and just going nuts on that. But
taking the women's underwear off at first.
Yeah. Oh God. One time.
So how did you find the structure of the class?
It's pretty similar. Like so the club I was training at, it was a Max Jiu-Jitsu affiliate that had just opened up. And
so, sorry, is Match Jiu-Jitsu a big affiliate in Japan, or is it worldwide?
No, it's they're just Japan. Yep. The head coach Max, he lived in LA for 6 years. Hoist Gracie black belt, I believe. Okay. I hope I'm correct there. But so then he's moved back to Japan, opened up the club. They've been around a few years now, and then this affiliate's opened up. So I was training there, and we pretty much followed a normal structure. Like it felt like being training back home. That's why I really liked the club. It felt like I never left Melbourne, except there was a lot more Japanese people there. And then so every Sunday we would head into Tokyo to the headquarters and do the competition class there.
Yeah,
just so I could get a grapple with some more brown belts and black belts and stuff,
rather than beating up white belts all day.
Exactly. There's only so much I can drill, but I really enjoyed it. I mean, they let me teach a couple of classes and stuff, and I got to put my own little flair on it. But it was weird because like they do a few drills that we don't do.
Yep.
So just a couple of different movements. Like the biggest one was like hip outs. Like they instead of our kind of like we call them judo style hip outs, where you kind of just move and then switch and move, and just it's more like a continuous flow.
Yep.
Their hip outs are like a 3-step thing. So you hip out, you straighten, you pull your leg in, and then you change. Just like you move, you recover in guard from half guard or something, and you pull your knee out like you're going to a close guard. Hopefully that makes sense for people.
Yeah.
So that was a little different. So it kind of slows your hip out a little, but it makes it more
Technical?
applicable. Yeah.
Okay.
And like just simple stuff like that. You know, everyone keeps asking, "Oh, you know, did you learn something fancy? Did you learn anything cool?" I was like, I really just fine-tuned stuff that I already use. Just a little tweak here and there. Maybe, you know, grab the left leg instead of the right leg when you shoot in, or just this tiny little grip changes. Nothing major.
So when you were instructing the class, what did you showcase?
Triangles.
So there was a class I did on triangles, because the coach in Tsukuba, he's quite a short dude. You know, he doesn't use much De La Riva or Spider Guard or stuff. So I showed a bit of the De La Riva Spider X Guard combinations I like using, just because they could finally see it with long legs. What you can actually
and at
do.
our club, we do a lot of open guard stuff.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. It just fitted with back home. My very last class, I taught my variation on Mackenzie Dern's koala guard, that seated guard with shin on shin.
Yep.
Just the little things I was tweaking over the 6 months, and they enjoyed it because it was something a little different they hadn't really seen. It was good fun. And I mean, it made it tough because I did my best, but I was trying to teach the class in Japanese as well.
Yep.
I mean, it's kind of straightforward with jiu-jitsu because you don't have, between me showing the move and my, you know, sporadic Japanese, you kind of just like hand, knee, foot, hip. Like,
They can get the idea.
Yeah. Actually, the hardest part is Japanese have the same word. Ashi means foot and it means leg. So I'll be like,
That's just inefficient.
yeah, I'm like, I want to say put your, you know, like your leg on the hip, and they're like, my foot. I'm like, no, your leg. Like, I haven't actually point and say, this Sashi, this one.
Maybe you should have Peter DeBeaned it. Just gone, put your dick in his hip.
Just fucking choke him.
Are they as aggressive, you think, as...
Actually, I'm kind of... That's one thing that's surprising with jiu-jitsu. Like, it's kind of that Japanese style where, you know, they pick one sport and they do it from the womb until they're 200 years old. And they don't cross-train. Like, the jiu-jitsu guys are all pulling guard. I mean, because they're all lighter weight classes. Yeah, they're all pulling guard. Very, very few have judo backgrounds. So they don't try and throw it. And I was hoping that, you know, some guys would try and stand up with me and would have some good throwing battles. But the majority will just pull guard, which is it's good in a way because I'm a guard player. So going over there, I really had to focus on my passing because I was suddenly the biggest dude in the gym.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of fun when that happens, isn't it?
it's lovely. I love it. Like I was grappling with some dudes who were like 45 kilos, like legit.
We call them kids.
Yeah. No, but like legit adult male Japanese guys, and 40, 45 kilos, and I'm like, you're just like a snack for me. I feel,
Hold on, boy.
It's you know, they've got like the tiniest little necks that I feel like when I'm choking them, the head is actually just
Gonna
gonna
pop off.
Yeah, it's like flicking the Pez lid open.
It's not surprising, I guess, that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is big in Japan. Like you say, it's drowning out traditional Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
But because, you know, mixed martial arts really came from Japan.
Yeah.
And, you know, and Hickson's massive over there. It's ridiculously so.
I think they have a much bigger female population in the jiu-jitsu community.
Really?
Okay.
Well, I mean, obviously men still dominate, but instead of it being like 95% dudes, I'd say it's probably more like 85%.
Okay.
So it's not a huge change, but it's significant enough that, you know, the women's division actually have people.
Division, yeah.
Like, there were, in some cases, there were more people in the women's division than there were at 85 kilos and purple belt. So I was lucky to get one or two fights in my comps, but and I think maybe it's a case of a lot of the women are still young, so they don't have families and stuff. But once they get a family, it kind of puts on the back step because they, you know, Japanese families are very traditional in the man works from 7 a.m. until 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And the woman's meant to be a housewife kind of thing. They'll work like part-time jobs during the day while the kids are at school and stuff, but other than that, that's
Still that model.
Yeah, which it's starting to change. It definitely is.
Yeah.
They're becoming a little bit more progressive, but it's still a large portion of Japan is stuck on that system.
Well, that's interesting that they get so many young women then into a combat sport like this. I mean,
you think of it like
Japan, yeah.
Like Japanese, they have kendo, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That actually has a huge number of females in it. I don't know what it is about women, but they like whacking each other with giant wooden sticks.
Penis envy.
Has to be.
That's a funny one because they kind of just run at each other with like it over their head and then just like chop downwards and then just go and then turn around and run. It's like human jousting instead of being on a horse.
Sounds fucking awesome.
It's pretty cool, but they've got like massive like head guards on because all they do is just whack each other in the head. That's it.
Add a jetpack to it and you've sold me. But I mean, it's pretty obvious how massive MMA is in Japan. I mean, Bob Sapp still gets paid to fight, which just shows how they appreciate the legacy of certain fighters.
It's like it's really nice with Japanese fights. Like, no matter they don't care who wins or how they win, whatever. They just want to see people give it their all.
Yeah.
Like if you go in half-ass, that's when the problem starts. But if those guys, like, I don't care if you're not swinging for the fences. If it's just a full-on grappling match, it's just stone silent because everyone's so intently watching and going, "Oh, this is amazing!" And then everybody will always get standing ovations and stuff. It really sucked that I didn't get a chance to go to an MMA card while I was there. That the atmosphere would just be awesome.
Who's the premier group out there at the moment?
Oh, now.
Because like Pride had the number one spot there for ages, but it was
I'm not really sure.
run by idiots.
The Pride guys went and ran somebody else. I want to. Is K1 still out of there?
I'm willing to bet it lost money if they were running it.
I'm not sure. Because I know like ONE FC have a big hold on Asia.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure where they're hosted out of.
Yeah, I don't think...
They're not Japan.
I thought ONE FC was more Philippines, Indonesia, that sort
I
of
think
area.
they've even had some cards in India and stuff.
Yeah,
ONE FC.
Emerging countries, that's brilliant.
Yeah, but
I'm not sure who's in Japan. And that was the problem because I didn't know who the big guys were in Japan. I couldn't just, I was probably a bit late. I could have just Googled it, but I had things to do.
It's also, you got to be careful because you go, all right, I'll go to see MMA, and you find out it's professional wrestling. They do like to blur the two.
But I must actually, a lot of them follow like the Japanese wrestling is they have that same kind of feel with the Lucha Libre, the Mexicans. They're all wearing masks and stuff, so you can kind of suss it out a little bit.
The mask gives it away, you reckon?
Well, yeah, it was like I think 2 nights ago or something. WWE just did a one-off show in Tokyo.
Did they?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was like, I think Lesnar's first match back after WrestleMania or something. I don't know, my mate was telling me today.
Imagine finding a mask that big.
Well, he fought in Japan in the start of his MMA career.
Yes, I can't remember the organisation. I'm pretty sure it wasn't one.
Yeah, I don't think it was either.
No,
yeah, they've got a lot of the smaller stuff. It's kind of like here where we've got Valor and Hex. If you're overseas, you probably wouldn't know of them. But yeah, if you're there, you kind of know the guys who are on there.
Yeah, I'm going to say, there's probably a couple of obvious ones that we just don't know about, and people are screaming, "You fucking idiots, you don't know shit."
But it is like, when I've, Pride obviously being one of the breakout MMA organisations, you'd see the crowd and they were really intensely watching what was going on, and they'd clap for a sweep.
Yeah, they actually care. Like, it's not... that's kind of the one thing that puts me off going to the MMA cards here in Melbourne. Like, I don't drink. I haven't had a drink like nearly 4 years now, and when I go to a fight, I don't want people just booing because the guys are grappling, because they're all they just want to see someone get knocked out. And I think that's a big problem with the cards in America and stuff. They have that. They have a real big boxing mentality about it.
Get up and fight, you fucking pussy.
Yeah, exactly. They just want to see someone get knocked out. They don't care about the fight. They just want to see, really, just blood.
I think it's improving, though.
It's definitely... I mean,
it would be interesting to see a big crowd in Melbourne, like a 40,000, to see what the kind of reaction is.
Well, I mean, that's why I really like guys like John McCarthy, the ref.
Yep.
Because he really has that eye for jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I mean, not even just jiu-jitsu, like he understands the wrestling and understands the technique behind it and all. And it's that big thing about you've got. I mean, it's definitely better now, but you had guys who were reffing or even the judges. You've got judges who don't actually understand the position. So like they might go, oh, the guy's on bottom, but he's got a triangle choke locked in, and they don't know that the guy's in danger.
Famously, that was Hoyce and Dan Seven. Seven stacked him and then didn't really do much. And I can't remember the commentator at that time.
Well, Jim Brown was one of the
I think it might
colour
have been him.
commentators.
He's got him right where he wants him. He's got him.
And then tap.
No, it was the other guy who was the karate expert or taekwondo expert or something. And he's going, oh, and he's tapped. Oh, it was a shoulder lock. Like, you missed a boat there, champ.
Yeah, and that's why guys like Joe Rogan are so good because he knows.
He's the best commentator in the world, any sport. Best commentator in the world.
I must say, I'm really liking having Kenny Florian as well. In some
Really?
respect, just because he's got that good in-ring experience.
My problem with Kenny Florian is he's always paired with John and Nick.
Yeah.
I think they sound too similar.
Yeah.
And sometimes,
like, who are you?
which one's talking again? Yeah.
I still want to have Shao Sonnen and Basserit both commentating.
Yeah, that would
You have to have it as an alternate channel, I think. Like with the footy, with Press Red for Ed. You'd have to,
Yeah, there's not many people who talk more than me, but they definitely would never shut up, and it'd be pretty full on.
Baz did the last Meta Morris, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But who actually watched that, to be honest?
They shot themselves in the foot in that one.
Yeah. It's kind of funny with Baz and Shale that either end up drinking buddies or they'd end up in a fight. Or both.
Shale would be calling him out, calling himself the champion of the universe. And
I don't know. Sometimes I think Chael's call-outs are a little bit too rehearsed.
Yeah. Well, look, I love Chael, mainly because, like, especially when he was on Tough. That was awesome.
He was brilliant.
A couple of his speeches. If people actually have some time, look up Chael's speeches from Tough because they are just amazing.
Like the one where he's talking about when you walk across a plank, a 2x4, and it's 1 foot off the ground, it's easy.
Yeah.
You move that same 2x4 to make it 6 feet off the ground. All of a sudden, you can't walk across it. Nothing's changed. It's still the same 2x4.
Yeah.
It's just that distance has changed.
And it's like he's one. He says, I just remember that he's just like, you've got 2 hands. Use them.
It's the John Kennedy, don't think, do.
There's very few fighters that have shown that level of just sheer hunger. And he was probably a bit unfortunate that he never got the gold, but geez, you were still hoping he got there. Obviously.
Well, actually, I was reading a really good thread about this on Reddit. Who do you think is the best fighter to never win a title, or who will never win a title? And like people were throwing up one type. Chad Mendes, he's probably never going to win. Well, we'll see how he goes against McGregor. But and I was saying, like, for me, he may not be the most skillful, but I think like Bisping is definitely up there with one of those because it's like he just gets right up there just to the line, and then no.
Well, I think if you're doing that ranking, who's the best ever to not win a belt? To me, it's Chael.
Yeah.
Because of that fight.
Yeah.
That one fight with Anderson Silva.
Well, and even with Jones, it's like, if the ref had seen Jones's toe...
Yeah, I'm gonna say, if he makes it through to the end of the first round, he wins.
Yeah, that's it.
By default, it'd be one of the worst title fights of all time.
Yeah, but Chael will still be coming out going, I am the champion of the world.
Toe hold T-shirts.
He would have had a movie. He would have T-shirts, belts, fucking everything.
What I do like about him is he never pretended it wasn't an act.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he knew this is a show, and then afterwards, we all knew.
Yeah, and going back to Japan, like, I think that's that's what they want to see. They want to see a show. They want to see, and I suppose that's where the corruption kind of comes into it because they don't care if the fight's thrown as long as it's fun to watch.
It's fun to watch. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
you see, guys like Conor McGregor have really aped that style as well.
See, I don't believe that Conor McGregor's an act. If he is, he's the best actor going around. Like Chael, you always knew it was a bit tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Like, and he pulling out some of the old lines. Conor, I believe 100%. That's him.
Yeah.
I just don't think he has it in him to go any different.
Actually, I was talking with a guy last night about this. That I was saying they did that sports science video with Conor.
Yep.
And they clocked the speed of his hip rotation on his roundhouse, and it's like they were saying, like, there's elite level, and then there's Conor McGregor.
Yep.
And he's just a mile ahead of anyone. Like no one even gets close to that kind of speed.
You know, it's funny you say that. I remember something very similar when they were saying the same thing about Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
The way he clears his front hip back when he was number one. They're saying it's the same thing. It's just off the charts. Nobody else does it like that.
Well, that's why the 18 women enjoyed it a bit.
It was not the hip rotation, it was the hip thrust.
Yeah.
Practice is what I was going to
Exactly.
say. That's what
you
it's
got
all
a good
about.
swing at it. That's for sure.
So do you reckon maybe they should just go around to schools, give some of the lads hula hoops, and if the ones that can do it the best, just like, all right, you're in, champ.
It's the ones who are breaking the hula hoop with that rotation,
Like, they're taking off.
spinning off the axes.
So you enjoyed the jiu-jitsu there? I mean, like...
Yeah, definitely, man. Like, I think I couldn't have found a better club to go train at simply because it was a club that just felt like home.
And being so new club as well, it's not like they had established, this is the way we do it, this is the way we've always done it. It's everything's brand new.
So their club, I think the guy who first started when the club opened, he's recently a brown belt. So they've been around a while.
Okay.
Like quite a few years. Not, I'd say, probably 7 or so. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but long enough to get a brown belt.
Obviously, yeah.
But yeah, like it's a real family environment. Like the head coach, he's got had two little daughters, and at first, they were afraid of the big scary Australian with tattoos and whatnot.
They had no clue.
Exactly. And then by the end of it, like we went out for dinner, and they're just like trying to give them piggyback rides and stuff. they kept coming up to me. We're having like a little picnic. There was a picnic inside the gym after training one day, and they're coming up to me and they're saying something in Japanese. I just had no idea what it was, and I kind of looked at the coach and was like, "What are they saying?" And he's like, "Oh, they just want you to chase them." I was like, "Really? All right, fine." But like, he was just shocked. He was like, "You have energy to still do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm 22. I can get away with it."
Little kids.
Exactly.
Kids,
I can give them back at the end of the night, so it's no problem.
Wind them up.
Yeah.
So that was the jiu-jitsu side of things, which, like we said, not surprised that Japan gets into it, being, the martial arts in general, being such an obsession over there, but then mixed martial arts and obviously the Brazilian jiu-jitsu influence into that. Footy though, mate.
Yeah. So, I keep saying to people, I played footy while I was in Tokyo, and they're like, "Oh, soccer." And I'm like, "No, actually Australian football." And they're like, "Bullshit, why were you playing footy over there?" And it's a funny story. So, like, a mate of mine who I went to a Japanese class with, he gives me a call one day, and we haven't spoken for maybe 2 years since Jap class finished, and he's like, "Man, are you busy this weekend?" And I was like, "What do you mean? Like, are you in Japan?" He's like, no, the guys who I played footy with while I was in Japan for a year, they're short a player. Can you go play for them? And I'm like, "Man, I haven't played footy since Auskick. Like, it's been 15 years since I've even kicked a footy." And he's like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. Just go down, give it your best shot." I rocked up, find out it's the top league in Japan. So guys, I'm proud to say I have played AFL at the highest level in Japan, but it's still at the highest level, more than what most people can say. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I had to read up on the rules and stuff because it was a little bit different. They play like 12 aside on on a rugby grounds or like whatever ground they can get a hold of at the time.
They get enough space.
Yeah. So I've got a decent kick on me. I was able to kick it probably 3/4 of the ground half the time. So yeah, just line me up in the back line, just bomb it down and go, "Good luck, little people." Yeah. But I was playing for the R246 Lions.
R246.
Yeah. So it's
one of my least favourite droids from Star Wars, to be honest.
It's
Isn't that the abortion drug? R246? No?
There's a Stone Sour song that's named after it. I can't remember.
So R246.
It's the name of the highway. It's like Route 246. Well, because the problem is, right, this league is it's a JAFL, Japan Australian Football League,
yep.
Which is all through official AFL website.
The Jaffles.
Yeah, the Jaffles.
So ham and cheese toasties.
so we're playing. So I was playing for the Lions there, and it's all in a Tokyo kind of area. So you've got Tokyo team, you've got each of the little suburbs around, and they kind of probably just ran out of names, I think.
Right, so they're just the road, that'll do.
Well, this is a big one. I don't know, people who have played Grand Theft Auto or something know the road because it's mentioned in there or something.
Oh, is it?
I think, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I had no idea what what the thing was, and then, until I put up a post on Reddit going, "Oh, I've played AFL this weekend in Japan. Here's some pictures." And then one of the guys was like, "Oh yeah, that's the name of the big highway." I was like,
"Is it?
Yeah,
Good job.
Cool." I learned something today.
People drifting on it and all that shit.
Yeah. So firstly, the rules are just it's pretty weird. So yeah, you're playing on a smaller ground already. So there's no 50-meter penalties because that'll take you from one end to the other. You've got like 25-meter penalties and stuff.
Did you get in trouble for abusing the ref? The ref was like, "I don't know what you're saying, but fuck you."
Yeah, well, actually, so that's something that's pretty cool though, because it's a smaller league. A lot of teams they'll play. I mean, our team, we just managed to get the numbers, so we didn't really have a bench most games. So you're running out an hour of footy with no bench. It's pretty tough, especially for me who's not used to running much. And we've come in and these guys are... other teams have got like 16, so they've got like 4 or 5 on the bench. they're all taking those breaks, those bastards. But yeah, like all of the other kind of rules are the same, but they're playing with rugby goals, and they put out these 2 little cones on the side for the point posts.
Jumpers for goalposts.
Yeah,
that's all
pretty
you need.
much. Well, that's the thing. Like everyone's asking me, like, what's the level like? And there's a couple of guys who, like the captain of the Lions, he had some serious skill, and I think he would play decent level at our kind of local leagues.
Yep.
Only being is the fact that everyone's so little. Like at 6 foot, I'm the ruckman. So that was pretty interesting. But one thing that I really liked, it's very community based with the team because they're all trying to build up each other's teams.
Yeah,
And there's no like, oh, we're better than you, whatever. They're just there to have fun. I mean, there's still the white line fever. Like they still get into it. They're still abusing the ref. They don't give a hold in the ball or something. But
Australia.
Yeah, exactly. we rub off on them a little. But all like the umpires, the goal umpires and stuff. They're all guys who play for the other teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like you're scheduled because each game you play like one game every 2-3 weeks or so.
Okay.
So you're not playing every week. And so on the off weeks you're not playing, your team has to supply the umpires for another game, which is great because a lot of the guys will go down and watch the other games anyway because it's just a bit of fun.
So when you've got such a niche interest in a sport that's not native,
well, they
do whatever you can.
I mean, most of the guys who I play with, they've come down for the International Cup.
Yeah.
So I think there's a couple of them are coming back in August actually for a bit of a holiday. So we're going to catch up, head to the footy, and go to the MCG, and it should be a bit of fun. But yeah, it's
give them
like
a meat pie, see how they react to that.
Well, I mean, quite a lot of them have been before, but
you're saying for the International Cup last year.
Yeah.
I remember going to a game where all the international teams were there. It was amazing to see them all out there, and obviously they get to. What was it? It was a Hawthorn Melbourne game.
Yeah.
So shame you couldn't see a decent one, but
well, I mean, the Japanese guys I don't think do too great in the International Cup, but it's just because they're so little.
The samurais, aren't they?
Yeah,
I think
Japanese
that's what the
samurais.
team's called.
Yeah.
Not being racist, that's what it's called.
Yeah. No, actually, some of the team names in the Tokyo Japan League is awesome. You got your classic, you got your Lions, you got your Power, but you've also got the Goannas.
Brilliant.
Great. But
How is there no drop bear?
Well,
the drop bears.
The Goannas, they're like their whole team is Aussie expats. So that's unfair, guys. That's not right. But
they should have to scull a beer every quarter or something.
Just handicap them. No, that'll probably improve their game. So you never know. There's the Poseidons. I was like, that's
pretty
name.
cool.
That is awesome name. But there's only 7 teams in the league. So each across the year you play 7 games. So you just play 6 games. You just play each other once.
Yeah.
Do they have a kids league as well?
No, they don't. But I mean, most of the guys are small enough for be a kids league. Well, that's the thing. Like every week they're trying to rope more people to come in. Like
it actually was the kids league, which is just 22-year-old Aussie playing in the under 14s.
There's no kids league unless there's a dad on the side yelling at the kid for dishonouring the family.
Yeah, that's not how you kick a fucking ball.
You're walking home.
I will turn this train around. No one drives cars in Tokyo. But yeah, it was really cool, man. Like,
man, I mean, Tokyo Drift lied to me.
Well, as I said, I haven't played footy in forever. And the first game was possibly the worst thing ever because, like with jiu-jitsu and judo, I don't run. Actually, I can I've got good endurance. I can run long distance, no problem. But it's those short 10-meter sprints.
And then repeat sprint.
Yeah, and about 10 minutes into the second quarter, cramping up every part of my leg. So it started with the calves, and I go out for a mark, and down I go.
Australia.
Yeah. So
they must have been shattered. They thought, we've got an Aussie on our team.
Yeah.
And he's young, and he's 6 foot. We're laughing. Turns out, nope, never played.
No, he's a potato. Yeah. I'm good at some sports, but footy was one I love watching the footy, but I suck at it. So the depressing thing is I didn't realise they videoed the game, and there's so many photos and videos and
you didn't think they'd take photos in Japan?
Oh, okay. Look, I expected some photos, but I didn't expect a highlight video to be put up after the game, like a 20-minute video of this like snippets from each quarter and stuff. And I must say I was happy because like 2 minutes into the video, you see me just crunch 2 Japanese guys, absolutely poleaxed.
Tell me, the 2 Japanese guys you crunched, if you added them together, would they weigh the same as you?
Probably close, actually.
Close?
Yeah. That poor guy. I'm so sorry to him. But then, at the end of the video, hopefully by the time people have gone, this is boring, I can't be bothered watching the rest of this.
That's when you
I
fuck
get
up.
absolutely cleaned up. Because I was like, I saw the guy in front of me. I was like, I can sidestep in. Didn't see the little dude come around behind and just bang, face first into the mud.
Actually, that's got to be great for developing the game in Japan, because they'll be like, here's an Aussie, he's come over here and played and we fucked him right now.
Go
You
back
can
to your
too.
own country. Fuck off, mate. We're full.
See, the Japanese aren't like that. They're just like, yeah, keep coming, we'll stack you up.
Yeah.
Just stack them up higher.
Well, it was pretty funny. Like, I was the only Aussie on the team. A couple of teams, as like I said, the Goannas are full of Aussies, and each team's kind of got one or two.
Fucking cheats.
So, I mean, an important part of footy is sledging. How'd you manage that? Did you just have to keep pointing to your elbow and inject shit? Or
No, not so much. It was just like more just like using them as like armrests and stuff. I'm standing in the goal square. I'm like, dude, I'm just cramping a little. Just, you're down there. Okay. But no, they are quite friendly with the game, except for there's a bit of niggle here and there, but it wouldn't be footy without it.
That has to happen.
Yeah.
You have to have a bit of niggle.
Well, it's more just a white line fever rather than actually being abusive. They're just like that. We want to win.
You're still adults in a competitive environment.
Yeah,
you're still
definitely.
trying to win.
And that's like you get guys who have never played the game before. They've done like 2 training sessions before the game, and then they come in. And it's like they mark the ball and they're like, "Oh my god, I did it! Oh, now I've got to kick it. Where do I kick it? Fuck! Shit! I'm tackled."
But again, being able to blag your way into the team and just bullshit away, I'm totally awesome, and then have to back it up and fail, Australia.
Okay.
massive.
When they called me and were like, "Can you come play?" and I was like, "I'm warning you now, I suck. I'm horrible at football. Do not have any hopes." And
at
like,
least
no,
they're
it's fine.
forewarned.
Yeah. So they kind of expected. Look, I did okay. I started the first game. I started out in the back line, and being big, I kind of just scared them out of touching the ball.
So did you have to go buy a pair of boots just for the occasion?
No. I had like a decent pair of runners, so I was using that, which was all right in the first game because it was dry. The second game I played, it was pouring rain. It's in the mud. I picked the ball up in the goal square, went to turn and kick, and just yeah.
I hope that
down
broke the
I
heart
go.
real.
Down I go. No, I see, because it was raining. No one wanted to stand out in video. But there is a great photo of me. They went for a dribble kick along the ground into the goals. I've done the big dive to try and touch it. Didn't get anywhere near it, but I've kind of just like sprawled out like the penguin dive and just like looked up and just like face first into the mud going, oh, I missed. And there's a photo of me just lying there in the mud. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I'm like, that sums up my football ability. Pretty much. That one photo has captured the entire game. That's all you need to know.
We'll try and get that up on the website.
Yeah. But we won that game, so that was exciting.
You did win one game.
Oh, if you guys, I don't know if you guys saw the video I put up of us singing the song.
Yeah.
So we're the Lions, right? But we're not maroon. We're blue, gold, and red. So firstly, they had to change the song for that. But then, we're not the pride of Brisbane Town. We're the pride of 246.
We're the pride of basically 8 Mile.
Yeah, and then they're like, the like Fitzroy and Bears of old. Well, we changed that as well. So like, and no one knew the words to the songs. Half the dudes don't speak English, and we're reading the song off in like English lyrics on a laminated card that's just sitting in the middle of the huddle while we're singing. And
did you have mics and karaoke?
Externally, yeah, but man, this was like the worst singing attempt ever. It was so bad, and especially because I can't sing for peanuts.
But that's what all the local leagues do. They all have versions of the AFL.
Yeah.
It's all what's the fucking Battle Hymn of the Republic? You know that one.
Halls of Montezuma.
Yeah, I think it's the same one.
Yeah.
I think it's actually.
I think the Lion song's a French song from somewhere or something. I think, but yeah, we absolutely crucified it.
You got
beyond
Jacques
recognition.
and
Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Yankee Doodle Dandy for Hawthorn.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, but it was good fun. And then it's like, so I've come back, and last weekend I watched my godfather play in the Veterans League, and he's still running around. He's the old bastard.
The old masters,
we love him. And I'm watching that league. They're playing on a full size ground, and their skill level is so much better than what we were doing. I felt like watching back now. I'm like, man, it was like playing in under 12s or something. But then there's one or two guys who just like
maybe
freakish.
maybe work out an exchange. Like go to the Masters League and say, look, do you want to get away from the wife and kids for a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Go play in Japan. We'll sort that shit
I
out.
don't know if they're getting paid really, but it is amazing.
Away from the wife and kids, job done.
It is amazing that like you say, a niche interest and how well organised they had for this sport that, I don't know, 100 people in the country, maybe 200 people in the country play.
Yeah.
But, they've got their own uniforms and they're organising leagues.
It's full legitimised. Like, I mean, because it's officially supported by the AFL, so, like, all the balls and stuff are provided.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
They've got a administration who rents out all the grounds and all that stuff. So
Yep.
it doesn't cost. Well, I don't know if they pay like a membership fee for the year or something, but
They didn't charge you.
They weren't charging me. I mean, probably because I'm a potato at football, so
It's your birthright.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like the AFL do a really good job of supporting them there, and so if you're on the AFL website, you can find the international leagues, and I think they've got like 18 countries or something now in the international league.
I mean, even when they do they call it the International Cup, don't they?
Yeah.
They have the development side of it and stuff, and it is amazing to see all those other countries come out and put their flavour onto Aussie rules.
And that's the thing, like with the Japanese league. I mean, because the skill level's a bit low, you're not holding as many marks and stuff.
Yep.
But because they're all so little, it doesn't matter. They're in the pack, just ducking under. Like I had to actually bend down to pick up a ball, and I'm like, I'm too tall for this shit. And then I'm like, wait, I would be probably the smallest player in the AFL. Pretty close to it anyway.
Except for maybe Brent Harvey and Ballantyne.
Well, that Caleb who debuted for the Bulldogs,
Puopolo. Well, he probably outweighs you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caleb, he played as the sub for the Bulldogs on Saturday night. He's the shortest in the league at the minute. I only know because they mention it every fucking time he got near the ball.
Well, in between going, the package.
Yeah, they laid off that a little bit,
thank God. That's so annoying.
But it was funny, actually, during that game. Was it Richo or Lingy called him out on it? Because they said, did BT just say they call him the package? No, you call him the package. Nobody else has joined onto this yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see they actually got called out once.
Yeah, but no, with Japanese league, like they're all great fun guys, and they train a couple of times a week as well. And it just sucked because they're being in Tokyo, I couldn't really go in and train with them.
You're Australian, what's the matter?
Exactly. I'm just going to go on my natural football ability.
You could be like the Japanese Fev.
Yeah,
just go over there and play on the weekends at different leagues.
Yeah. And, headlock bar,
skull of bourbon on the sidelines while waiting in the goal square, and
put down some sake on the sidelines. Run out there, and then next week off to a different.
Do they have a best in the league award?
I'm not sure actually,
because they got Brownlow night or something.
I think
you could fev that up.
No, I could definitely do. I'm assuming they do. I'm assuming they do a best on ground and stuff. But
you don't want to go around doing pressure point though, because
they'd be like, oh no, that's wrong, wrong area, open under.
But yeah, like I mean, it's weird, like because it's a small. You've only got 10, 12 on the team and stuff. So there's always one dude who's kicking like 8 goals a game because like so how it works is you get your ruckman and then you have 2 rovers.
Yep.
and everyone else out of the square, but you're pretty much playing like a
12-man running.
Yeah, you're playing like a 1-10-1 setup.
Right. Yep.
It's just everyone just gets in there, and I think we were really lucky. Like one of the guy who played fullback, like he actually had some decent skill. So he just cutting off everything, and saved our ass a lot of the time. And in the last game I played, our ruckman got injured in the first quarter, so he kind of trudged on until half time, and then afterwards it's like, all right, looks like Richard's going in the ruck. And I hadn't cramped up to that point, and then get to the end of the third quarter. Oh, that's a little sore, but
that's right. You could have played like Sanderlands, no need to jump.
Exactly. I just stand there and tap, and it's actually the hard part, because I was like, I don't know where these little shits are running to. Like, where do I tap them? I can hit it forward. I don't care.
Like I said, you play just like Sanderlands.
Yeah, but I don't have a Nat 5 just sitting there just waiting to clean up. So,
well, that's your fault.
Yeah, no one with good enough hair. Disappointing.
No, well, I guess they're all one colour as well, aren't they?
Oh, hey, that's a bit racist.
A bit. I was going for a bit more than a bit racist. I was going for very racist. Did you talk to any of the guys about how they got into the AFL?
Not really. I mean, not the initial starters, but a lot of them. There was kind of like one or two guys who were there when it first kind of it came out, and then everyone else has just been recruited as friends of friends of friends, and it kind of builds up that way. But yeah, I'm not sure how it all actually got put together.
Well, by the sounds of it, then it might have actually been something the AFL's gone, we're going to start it in Japan.
Yeah.
They've had a definite expansionist sort of methodology with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. With the International Cup and that, and a lot of funding that they're doing it, and they blew fuck knows how many millions over in China, didn't they?
Yeah, it's actually just a shame.
Just in bribes.
The Japanese guys, they were really getting into it and stuff, but they're never gonna. A lot of countries, they're never gonna suit the top level, just because they're the wrong size, like the wrong shape, wrong size. Like a lot of the big European dudes are probably too big, like they're too strong. They're more rugby orientated. You're probably less likely to find the guys who are 6'5" but can do 5Ks in like 15 minutes.
Yeah. I always think anywhere that rugby union can thrive can do AFL.
Yeah.
Rugby league's a little bit different because they tend to be wider.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting. I was wondering if it was something that there was a Japanese interest in it, and the AFL went, right, we're going to make sure that those guys are looked after, or if it was the other way around.
I think it was the AFL putting the feelers out. Yep. I think they're doing that with a lot now. I mean, they still haven't touched Europe at all. Like,
I know Sweden sent a team.
Yeah, I was looking through the International Cup teams, and a lot of them are the Asian area. Yeah. There's really no Europeans. Like, I mean, imagine some of the big Russian dudes or something. You get a few of them going into it, and
fuck that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Actually, to make the International Cup interesting, because if they're like, oh no, Russians, we not play that. America's got a pretty shit team, you'll smash them. Okay, we play.
Yeah, let's just beat the Russians. Why not? There's and that's the sad thing. Like the Japanese, they're just too small. For AFL, so we'll never see probably never we'll see a Japanese recruit coming through.
Do you reckon Akibono could get in the ruck, do his work?
I don't know if he could jump, but as long as he keeps moving forward.
Akibono, he's about 6'5" or something.
I don't know him.
You don't know Akibono?
No.
He was a Yokozuna who went into.
Oh yeah.
He fought Hoyce.
Oh okay.
I got a feeling he fought Brock Lesnar too.
Got a feeling he got whooped both times.
He did. Yeah, he didn't do very good at all. I think he went to K1.
Well, I mean, the way I put perspective, for example, China, you got guys like Yao Ming, right?
Yep.
Sure, he's huge, but
built in a test tube.
He can't run.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to keep up with that kind of speed that our AFL really demands. It's getting a lot faster of a game now, and I think that would kill a lot of the other countries. I mean, the problem is I just don't think other countries give a shit.
No, of course they don't, and they're not going to. Certainly not in our lifetime.
And I suppose especially because it's called the Australian Football League, so it's like.
But you do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, but I think that's different. I mean, I think now with Jiu-Jitsu, it's moving away from being called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because so many other countries are
just
getting
calling
into it.
it
And everyone's
jiu-jitsu.
just calling it Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, but you still look at the World Championships and the Mundials and all that stuff. It's still
it's
you
all
go, oh shit, there's somebody that's not Brazilian.
Yeah.
It's certainly at the black belt level.
He's probably going to lose.
I mean, because they're still the best, and they will. That's why it's just, everyone's going about trying to get it in the Olympics and stuff.
I hope it never goes.
I'm the same because they'd have to change all the rules because they'd have to make it spectator friendly.
Yep.
B, I mean, look, it'd be great to represent my country. It'd be awesome because by the time it probably comes into thing, I'll probably be, hopefully,
in that
a
age
good level
bracket.
black belt, right at that nice age level, and it'd probably work out well. But there's no reward out of it. There's no like. I mean, I look at some of the judo guys, and you've got like guys like Travis Stevens and stuff.
Yep.
I was watching that. He spends like $7,000 a year on tape,
Right.
just on taping his injuries, and then you win a gold medal at the Olympics, and you get given $20,000 and a handshake and say well done. I mean that's why Ronda Rousey moved on.
Yeah.
because
She was
she
sleeping
gets
in a
bronze.
car.
She gets bronze, and it's like, oh well done, high five. Now what do I do with my life?
See you in 4 years.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want that. I especially the rule changes. I think that'd be a huge issue.
I was going to say, my issue is more of you only have a look at what happened to judo. And there's a lot of people, even Mal, when we're talking to him, they've changed the rules and changed the rules and changed the rules. It maybe not for the best, and especially because there's a lot of old school jiu-jitsu guys that want to keep it, the street side of it, as opposed to the self-defense, as opposed to the sports side. And then if you make it Olympics, it's obviously all about the sports side.
Yeah, I mean, look. I always hate that argument too with the sport and the self-defense stuff because personally, like for me, I mean, obviously I train for sport because I'm competing and I want to win competitions.
Yeah.
But you give me some random dude on the street doesn't know jiu-jitsu, I don't fucking care that I'm sport jiu-jitsu. I'm still going to double leg him. I'm still going to put him on his ass and then I'm going to choke him. Like, obviously if he's got a knife or shit, I'm running away. But, if you... That's the thing, like people are saying, you look at guys like the Mendez brothers and stuff, all their fancy guard pulling and all their inverted shit, and they're like, oh, that'd never work on the street. Well, that's because they're never going to use it on the street. Like, if he can do that to a high-level black belt, do you think he's going to have a problem with some random drunk dickhead on the street? Like,
I'll tell you what, a wicked crossover and a double-hand dunk doesn't work on the street either.
Exactly.
But it's a sport, isn't it?
Exactly.
But I think you could make the argument too, all right, boxing is an Olympic sport, but they've got the amateur rules, and professional boxing still does fine. In fact, there's a fair bit of cash in it.
Amateur boxing is shit, though. Olympic boxing is shit.
I must say,
point system.
I'm a fan that they changed the point system now.
Have they?
They're no longer... So I'm not sure when. It was maybe... year and a half ago, actually. They've changed it from the points for a clean punch, and they're now doing a 10 and 9
They're
system.
doing the 10-point must system.
Yeah. Which is so much better because it's like...
It was so dodgy,
The good thing about it too is, though, they show it live, so you don't wait to the end of the fight and go, oh, it's a split decision. As the fight progresses, you know what the score is.
Yeah.
So if a boxer's in the third round, he's like, I've got to knock this dude out. Oh, shit, he's got headgear and my gloves are massive. This could be trouble.
But you also see the other guy goes, well, I'm up 10-4. I'm just going to dance.
Yeah, but you see that anyway
You
when
do.
they had the points. And
But I
not in a
think
12-round
the
fight.
biggest issue is like you can have a guy that's dominating and he's smashing him, but he's just not landing that nice crisp punch.
Yeah.
He's still doing damage, but it's not clean. And you've got then the guy who gets in a couple of not damaging punches, but just timed well.
Yeah.
And that gets him the points, and you see them win.
I went to the boxing when Melbourne had the Commonwealth Games, and I was chatting to one of the the poachers there. He's an agent trying to get all the amateur English guys to turn professional.
Yeah.
The coaches fucking hate him. But he said, one thing they forget, this isn't a fight. It's a match.
Yeah.
And I think the same's true for jiu-jitsu especially.
Yeah.
People see it and they're like, oh, I'll never walk in the street. It's not fucking supposed to. This is a match. It's not a fight. They're not trying to belt each other up. They're not trying to snap bones. They're trying to get to the point where they submit.
Well,
or they
I
choke
think
them out.
actually Keenan said something good about this, and it was like, the reason guys play 50-50 and pull guard in competition is because it's what you have to do to beat other guys who actually know jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You're not going to beat a guy with just a double leg and going to mount. I mean, you've got the old school guys like Hodger and stuff who can do it to anybody. But on the most part, especially with the lighter weight divisions, you can't beat guys like that because their guards are just insane.
The thing I hate about that is they say, he only won by an advantage. I'm like, well, that was the fucking rules when the fight started.
Yeah.
It's not like they changed him halfway through.
Yeah.
He won by an advantage. That's winning.
But the other thing with BJJ too, it's evolutionary. So what worked 10 years ago won't work now.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's moved on. And a lot of sports you see, like boxing, a lot of combat sports, there tends to be a fairly static rules, static tactics. So you generally have a few game plans. But with jiu-jitsu, it's so open. It's chess, not checkers.
Yeah.
And you'll see people try something new and then all of a sudden it takes off. Like 50-50 guard pulls. You see Eddie Bravo, he managed to launch a whole new system of jiu-jitsu just off pretty much his reputation and that one win.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's... and things rotate
through.
through.
Hard work.
A lot of hard work, yes.
A lot of weed too, but it got there. Actually... like that's the thing. Things rotate through with jiu-jitsu too.
Yeah.
Like everyone was so like, oh my god, Berimbolos. I was like, look, if you go back and look, I think maybe Holetta, I think is a guy. I don't know. Dion showed me a video once, but he was doing it, 10, 15 years ago. Whoever, I can't remember the name of him. But yeah, doing 10, 15 years ago. It's just that now it got picked up again and it's come back round. Actually, that was a cool thing. So while I was in Tokyo, one of the guys I fought in the tournament, Sonny, he was from 10th Planet Gym back in LA, but now he's living in Japan and working there, and he's trying to start up like a 10th Planet 10th Planet school in Tokyo. So we were doing these like kind of grapple just sessions. He said to me, it's like, come for a roll and do some no-gi, and just inviting guys from all other clubs and stuff. So I think that there were 6 of us from 5 different clubs, and just doing some no-gi, and we're going through some kind of simple 10th Planet stuff. And I actually really liked how they do their drills. So their drills are like a sequence of techniques. So I think one we started like from butterfly guard, and you start by you trap the foot, you do a kind of a forward roll over the top and bridge, and then you turn out of that, and then the guy recovers back into the butterfly. So it's practical. It all links. It gets you moving quite well rather than just a static kind of drill. It's a bit more dynamic. And they have like they'll call it like C11 or C12, and they've got this huge range of different...
Is that like a curriculum?
No, yeah, well, in a way it's kind of a curriculum, but it's more just so that when they do the drills that link together. So they'll do like from the C series.
And they can play Battleship like masters later.
Yeah. But that was great. It was pretty cool because we got a photo and Eddie Bravo, posted it and shared it, and I was like, I just got shared by Eddie Bravo.
Yeah. One thing I don't like about 10 Planet though is they misrepresent themselves. I mean, now that Pluto's not a planet, shouldn't it be ninth planet?
They haven't thought it through.
No. I know. How dare they? How dare they? But no, it was really fun. Like, I mean, I love something I really like about jiu-jitsu with when there is no politics bullshit getting in the way. Like, I would struggle so much if I think we're really lucky as a club with Dion. He's very flexible about training. As long as you represent your club and you're, when someone asks where you train, I train at Perkins Jiu-Jitsu. Damn right. But if we don't have a class on a night and I've got a free night, of course I'm going to head over to another gym and have a roll and hopefully do our club proud and kick the shit out of a few of them over there.
Even when we talked with Jamie Murray, he was saying he loves that his students. He said, "Go out there. You've got to go train somewhere else as well, because it's part of the bit wider community." And everyone at the end of the day, everyone wants the sport to get bigger. And it's just like you're talking about with the Japanese guys with their AFL, their footy. Yeah, there's no point if you're the one team that flogs everyone else and everyone else gives up.
Yeah, exactly.
You've lost it. So it's about building up the sport as much as...
And plus, other people understand what it takes. Because if you show someone the belt grading system in jiu-jitsu and you're saying,
there's basically 5 belts.
Yeah, but if someone says, you've been doing it 5 years, are you a black belt yet? You're like, mate, you don't know what you're asking. If you're a purple belt in 5 years, you've done good.
Yeah.
Job done.
And that's the funny thing. It's like, people are like, what belt are you? I'm a purple belt. What's the belt? I was like, it's white, blue, purple, brown, black. I was like, you're not very good then. I was like...
Well, if you compare me to the black belts, you're right. Yes.
But I think, honestly, I think there's also there's a smaller gap talent-wise between the belts than people think. until you get to the guys who are like elite.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the elite guys, that, you know, I think, there's someone, one of the ASOS black belts, he was saying, and there's blue belts here who would take my lunch money.
Yeah.
Like, because they're just freaks.
Yeah.
And all they do is train too. But, like, I mean, I feel like when I roll, you know, I would say, I would consider myself at a decent level of purple. Like, oh, you know, I win a few tournaments at purple, and I do all right. And, you know, a lot of brown belts I will match or, you know, occasionally beat.
Worry them, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not at our club though. I've got nothing for the brown belts.
There's a couple that there's guys like Liam who I'm never even close to. Like, there's always that one guy, and it's funny.
I feel sorry when I roll with Liam because I'm like, I'm giving you nothing here.
Well, that's the problem.
There's nothing for you.
Everything I can
and
do.
Liam listens to this a lot too.
Yeah.
Everything I can do, he does better. He's stronger than I am, more technical.
Yeah.
Your eyesight's
Maybe.
better than his.
I do have that on him, and I might have a little bit of flexibility in some areas. But apart from that, I just get schooled.
Yeah, it's scary. Like, there's guys like that who just, I mean, not even just Liam. Like, there's always someone who can kick the shit out of me, but then there's someone who I absolutely destroy, who then beats the crap out of them.
It's the rock paper scissors.
I'm like, this is how do you do that? Like guys like Face. Like, it's gonna be so long to even get close to Face, and I'm really looking forward to obviously having a roll with him now that I'm back, but. If he actually shows up to training once, maybe.
I haven't seen him for a while. I think he's got,
Just turn up 15 minutes late, you'll be fine.
I think he's got wrist problems or something.
Okay.
Some injuries. Yeah.
But
it is funny like that, how you can... I beat him, but he can handle him easily, and then he's got nothing for me. And
well, it's like some guys' competitions, I mean, obviously, the further you get up the belts, there's less and less dudes to fight. It's the same dudes. Like, I fought one guy at comp 5 times, and you know, I've beat him 4 of those times, I think. But then... there's one guy who gives me a good trouble in comps, and he's absolutely towed this guy. And I'm just like, it's just not fair. Why can't I beat you all?
To me, it's like an old school RPG where you pick your perks.
Yeah.
Like you've got, there's certain moves that I can do that I'm comfortable with. I can snap them on, and I'm pretty good with them. But when you get someone who can defend that move, I'm fucked.
Yep. It's like, for me, and triangle choke, I'll triangle choke anyone any day of the week. Know what? I used to love the thing. Get me to do an arm triangle, and I'm like a north-south choke. I'm like, push.
You can't do an arm triangle?
Oh, I can't. I don't know.
I fucking love the arm triangle.
You guys are big. You guys are big guys. You can put a lot of weight onto it.
Big guys, short arms. It's arm triangle central.
Yeah. But see, I got the long, lanky arms, and it's like...
That's even better.
Nah.
You just got to get that... Your elbow that you're doing the choke with, you just got to touch the mat.
Yeah.
And then ratchet the shit out of it.
Closing that space is tough. I'd rather just fucking triangle everyone.
I love when you got the arm triangle and you've got it locked, and you're like, all right, this is home. I've just got to ratchet it. And it's like, all right, a little bit, gap, a little bit, gap, a little bit. Starting to hurt? All right, a little bit, gap.
Jiu-jitsu's like that too. You find that moves come and go, even for yourself. When you go, I'm hitting this on everyone now. And then after a while, everyone's a bit used to it. They're starting to figure it out. I've got to change it up. I'll do something else.
Actually, that's something awesome. Best part about going and training at a new gym for 6 months.
Nobody knows your tricks.
Nobody knew to expect a triangle. That reverse omoplata that I love so much. Nobody's even seen it before. And
I do love it when new people come to our gym. I'm like, right, I can hit this bread cutter from the bottom because they've never seen it before.
Yeah, the Heath choke.
I can't do it on anybody else because once you've seen it once, it's like, all right, I'm not.
Look, I've seen it a few times. You still catch me with it, sneak. But that's probably because I'm trying to do the same thing to you on top. And like, oh wait, if I'm doing this to him, he can do it to me. Tap.
It does become a bit more of a pissing match too. It's like, I know exactly what you're doing, and I'm not going to let you do it. I'm going to do it to you.
Well, it's like our roll we had last week. It was like, we were just kind of like just diving on shit.
Yeah.
You're sitting in mount and you dive for a knee bar. It's like, all right, let's just go.
I think I did go for an overhead knee bar.
Yeah.
But it's you can't explain it.
Yeah, why not? Why not just go for it and have fun with it? But yeah, training in Japan, and it's like, I'm going into comps and nobody's seen me fight before, and it's like, this is awesome because I can go back to my A game and not have to worry about someone knowing that that's where I'm going.
If anyone cared though, there's plenty of your fights on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I know that we've done it for the comps. When people, we go, all right, who are you fighting? Yeah. Let's put it on YouTube. Let's see who's there.
They might think you're a haemophiliac or something. You manage your bleed.
Definitely. Well, that's the thing. For I think my second roll back, on last Sunday.
Blood on the gi?
Yeah, my brand new white gi. Blood on it.
You can
shout out the brand.
The ground fighter geese. They very nice to me, and
it came out in the wash anyway.
Yeah, it all came out, and now it's all patched up too. So ready for New South Wales States
next weekend, the weekend after.
Yeah, not next weekend after.
Fortnight.
Yeah. So I'm flying up on the Monday. The Monday with Megan for our little romantic week away in New South Wales, jiu-jitsu.
Some people call it kidnapping.
Yeah. Well, it was a case of, she was like, I said there was the comp and I wanted to go up, and she was like, oh well, I'll come with you, but she's got a family event on the weekend, so now she's leaving the Thursday night before the comp. So and then she's like, oh, so where are we going to stay? And I was like, oh crap, well, I've got to find out where the comp is first,
and all that shit.
See where we can go. And then I was just like, oh well, there's a hotel in Chatswood. And I'm like, well, why Chatswood? I was like, VT1 maybe right around the corner, and I want to go train with the guys again. But she'll never know. Nah, she's she
would have tuned out by now for sure.
Yeah, exactly. You just mentioned jiu-jitsu. I was like, oh, shoe shopping. But no, I must say, like, Megan is
don't try and save it now.
No. Seriously though, she puts up with a lot of my shit. To be honest,
I was going to say no shit. It's phenomenal. The community service work she's forced to do.
Yeah,
everyone said she could do better.
I definitely think
Richard told her she could.
I've been pleading with her seriously. Like, find someone better. There's surely someone out there.
I want to watch. So the last thing then, obviously you're back in the country now, and you're straight back into the tournaments here. Yeah. Does that mean you're going to go find a local footy team?
No chance in hell. No.
Teach them what you've taught Japan.
I am more than okay with keeping my body intact for getting ruined by jiu-jitsu. Just like getting tackled a couple of times, and I'm like, oh, if I turned a little bit badly there goes the ACL.
You probably do know, you might not though, that in his break from competition, Kit decided to play footy.
He's blown his knee out.
In half.
Yeah, that's
unfortunate.
Just the way it goes. Well, that's what Dion was saying to me. Like, when I told him, I'm playing footy this week, and he's like, don't you fucking get hurt. You've got a competition in 2 weeks, and if you're not there competing, I'm going to be pissed. And I was like, yes, boss. Don't hurt me. But no, I
couldn't get near the ball to get tackled.
Yeah, exactly. I probably had like 2 touches across both games. And yeah, I just kind of smiled and nodded and was like, yeah, tap the ball down. Here you go, little people.
Done my job.
Yeah, didn't kick a goal. I would have liked to. That would have been fun, but I'd have to have some kind of skill to do that.
Let's keep it where we can.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, man, we might wrap it up there.
Awesome.
An hour 20.
Yeah, it was fun. Well, that was a lot longer than I was expecting.
Yeah. Thanks for letting us know about jiu-jitsu and footy in Japan.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
It's an awesome angle.
It's nice to share it, and hopefully I can just link all my friends to this and go, this is what I did the last 6 months. Don't ask me questions again.
We'll have a sledge thread probably on Reddit for it as well, so if they want to join in, all fun and games.
Pretty much.
Awesome. Cheers, guys.
Awesome.
Have a good one.